In our last video, we finished up by using the negative to reflect our function rule over the x-axis. This time we're going to see that we're going to take a multiplier. So we're going to multiply a value to our f of x's. So basically, remember, we're going to use those original values here, and now we're going to multiply 2 to everything, to all of our answers. So basically, don't forget also that we're using this x squared rule. So we've got these parabolas. Just another note there, just to help you out. So if I took -3 squared, that would be 9. 9 times 2 is 18. Or just take my original values and multiply them all by 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 2 is 2, 0, 2, 8, and 18. And then this time I'm going to graph those points with triangles. So the first thing you're going to notice is that here's -3. I'm not going to be able to, so -3 right here, I'm not going to be able to graph -18. So if that happens, I'm just not going to graph that point. I'm going to have to start with -2. So at -2, I'm going to put a triangle at +8, so right here. And then at -1, I've got a triangle at +2. I still have a triangle at 0, 0. At +1, I go to +2, and at +2, I'm going to go up to 8. And then once again, I can't do that 18 at my x value of 3. I'm just going to connect those triangles with a curve. And what you can see is that my parabola, this shape that's created here, that curved U, became skinnier. Or another way you could think about it is it was stretched like taffy. Whenever we multiply a function by a factor of a, so basically we're taking that x squared and multiplying it by 2. What happens is we get a vertical dilation or stretch or shrink. What that is also called is a dilation. So it's getting skinnier or fatter. Anytime it's less than 1, it's going to be a shrink. Anytime it's greater than 1, it's going to be a stretch. That's true for negatives as well. So you'll see what I'm talking about in the next examples. Let's take a look at these examples, and when we put it all together, I think it's going to make a little more sense for you. So our first example here says if the graph is shown is of f of x is equal to x squared. So we can once again see this U-shaped curve. But now we want to add 3 to it. So if I look back at all of my rules, there's a couple ways to do it. I could take any value and just add 3, or we could just look at what that means. When I add 3 to it, what that means is I'm going to take my x squared and just literally add 3 to all of those points. So that's what it's saying to do. But if I look at my rule, we can see that this is a vertical shift, and my graph is going to move up by 3 points. So I can take any point, and it says to select lattice points. Lattice points happen, do you see where all these cross marks happen in the background there? So anywhere that that occurs, we're just going to take those points. So like here's a good point. Here's a good point. We're just going to count up by 3 for all of those points and create some new ones. So if I move that one up by 3, okay, so I'm going to just take these points and move them up by 3. I'm going to take this point here and move it up 3. Okay, that's going to put it right there. If I take this point 1, 2, 3 and move it up, take this point, move it 1, 2, 3, and this final one, 1, 2, 3, so up to 7, and then draw that new graph in. Okay, and that's literally how I do a transformation when I'm adding 3 to my sketch. Let's take a look at example B. This time, this is it's inside the parentheses. So we're subtracting 1 from my function. So what that's going to look like is that's going to be x minus 1 the whole thing squared. So if I were to write that down, that's the difference between A and B. On A, we added after we squared. This time we're going to subtract and then squared. So it changes our order of operations. And what that was a horizontal shift. Since it's minus 1, remember the rule is to shift it to the right 1. So we're going to take all the points on this graph and we're going to shift them 1. So I'm going to pick this point, shift it 1 to the right. This point right here, 1 to the right. And once again, this is a great point right here, 1 to the right. Here's one, I'm going to shift it 1 to the right. And this point, shift it 1 to the right. So I've got these 5 points right here. And when I put my curve through it, everything's shifted to the right. So where am I getting these rules from? They're all the rules that we covered in this video. So you should have these, I think it's 4 different rules written somewhere. It's all the rules that you saw in the boxes in the previous videos. All right, so graph C. If the graph shown is x squared, sketch 0.5. Okay, so what is that going to look like as a function? So basically I would take 0.5 and multiply that to x squared. So I'm going to take all of my values. Basically, I'm just saying all of my f values are going to be multiplied, or y values will be multiplied by 0.5. So let's see what that looks like. And what does that mean? That means this is going to be a vertical shrink by 0.5 or 1/2. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but I think you'll catch on really fast. So if I start at 0, well, 0 can't shrink. I'm literally going to take 0 and multiply it by 1/2, and that's going to stay in the same place. So this point doesn't move. This point right here, if I multiply 1 by 1/2, that becomes 1/2. If I multiply 4, this guy by 1/2, that's going to become 2. So you can see everything shrinking down towards the x-axis. Right here, this point, my y value is 1, multiplied by 1/2, and that shrinks down. If I've got right here, my y value is 4, when I shrink that down, and you can see this has been, it becomes wider, or really what it's becoming is it's becoming squished down towards the x-axis. So vertically it becomes wider or just smushed down. For this last one, you can see this is a very complicated function rule. But if you take a look, you can see that this graph has definitely changed. Actually, look, that negative made it flip upside down. Well, we're going to flip it again. So we're going to take this entire graph and we're going to reverse all of our function, our y values again. So make all of our y values the opposite of what you see. We're going to reflect f of x over the x-axis. So I'm going to take this point right here, the start right here, and notice it's 1, 2, 3, 4 above the x-axis. Or another way is the y value is 4, so now the y value will be -4. Okay, this point right here, the y value is 3, so now the y value will be -3. Same thing with this point right here. Everything's just reflecting the same distance. These 2 points are 0, so -0 is still 0. I don't think there's any other points. If you wanted to grab some more, you could, but this one's going to reflect. Now you're going to have lots of practice in Delta Math. If you struggle with this, please come in during office hours. Sorry this video went a little bit long, but I think it's worth it so that you really get an idea of what's going on here.